think it's just a beautiful sunny day and you're going to be outside with your dog and somebody in the neighborhood sets off a firework.
Yeah.
And so, yeah, so if you know that you have a public display scheduled, well, you can plan for that, and you can say, okay, I'm going to keep my, get your dog out exercised earlier in the day, and then as it gets close to fireworks time, get them inside and in a quiet room, and maybe turn the TV on and close all the blinds, and do those sorts of things. And possibly, if you know that your dog is really truly terrified, you might want to talk with your vet about getting some sort of prescription for some sort of sedative or something that may help ease the anxiety. But with these neighborhood displays that just go off erratically, I wish I had the answer for that, because they really are a problem. And I would say that over the last few years, we've actually had more dogs go missing from those than we have from the public displays.
Yeah,
things cannot be predicted.
Yeah, I didn't even think about that, Kathy, but boy, that's a good point. I just told my VP yesterday that, oh my gosh, it's 4th of July coming up, and we need to start warning people and preparing them to put the collars and the ID tags on, because, usually it's a couple days ahead, a couple days after you hear those backyard fireworks going. But you're probably right this year with all the craziness in the world that people will want to do a little more, to have a little more fun, since they're not being able to go anywhere. Oh, brother, I didn't even think of that. Oh, jeez.
Right, so we're kind of preparing for the worst case scenario this year. Really, because so many of our big fireworks displays have already been canceled. And I think the fireworks vendors, because it's only July 11th, and the vendor is setting up today. So they're almost, a month ahead. So they must be expecting to do a booming business. It's kind of a fun booming business too. Yeah.
And my husband and I had an errand to run earlier, and we were sitting in an intersection at a main intersection here in Bradenton, and I looked over and I saw the big what do you call those signs? The big, what are they? I'm drawing a blank. The big signs by the side of the road. What are they called?
Billboards?
The billboards. Yeah, that's it. Yeah. And it was about buying fireworks. And I said to Jim, I said, I thought fireworks were illegal in Florida. So why do they sell them? I don't get that, because what do they think? They're going to buy them at your local store and then go to another state with them? No, they're not.
Yeah. I don't totally understand that either. We have a lot of places in Wisconsin where it is legal. And some places, it's like in my community, it's legal if you have a permit. But there's a lot of people that set them off without a permit. And if you're setting off, 10 or 15 minutes worth, well then, you have time to call the police, and they will come and, give the people a warning. I don't think they ever ticket them. But if they're only just setting off one or two, just to test them or whatever, that nothing is ever going to happen to them.
Yeah.
So I don't quite understand all that either. Like why they sell them in our Walmart store sure now. Fireworks. Big bundles
they
of
do
fireworks,
ours too. They do here too.
Yeah.
I haven't been to Walmart in months since this pandemic thing, but I know I remember last year that was the main thing. As soon as you walk in, there was that big setup right when you smack walk in the door, and I always thought, what the heck? Yeah. But that's a really good tip, to get prepared a little bit in advance this year and make sure your pet's got its tags on, and that you can actually read the tag. We had a dog the other day that had a tag on and the phone number was outdated. I mean, why even have it on?
Oh, right.
Make sure you can read it.
Or where they've rubbed against each other and you can't even read them anymore. Just to have a good look and make sure that it's legible, because that is just, such an easy way for somebody to reunite you with your pet, is if you have a legible, up-to-date ID tag on. But it's something that's often overlooked. I mean, how many times do we have, listings of a dog that's been lost and it has a collar on but has no tags on?
I know.
Very, very
I know.
common.
Yeah, so we'd like to get everybody thinking of that right now for not only July 4th, but for any potential hurricanes and stuff. Get your ID tags ready. Get them on your dogs.
Right.
Make sure you can read them. And if you even have just a collar and you don't have a tag, and in a pinch, just grab a marker and write on it.
Yep,
Just write your
absolutely.
number on it. But be ready. Yeah.
Yep.
Hmm.
And then, of course, like with the whole July 4th, and I haven't looked yet to see what day of the week it falls on, but that sometimes can kind of, sometimes if it falls in the middle of the week, it seems like, okay, well, that could be a little bit quieter.
Yeah.
But sometimes that backfires, and we actually have two busy weekends then, the weekend before and the weekend after. So I'm just looking, and it looks like
It's Saturday.
Saturday.
Great. I know, right? Oh gosh. Heaven help us. Last year I was in New York for our family visit, and I'm not doing that this year. I'm going to be home because it's going to be crazy, I'm afraid. Yeah.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Yep. And so then the other thing that goes along with it, like the reason kind of we call it the perfect storm, is that there's a lot of picnics and family gatherings and strange people over at people's houses that might leave the gate open, or so even if your dog doesn't go missing from fireworks, there's just so many other opportunities for accidents to happen on that weekend, or people traveling or camping, or it seems like every year we have at least one dog that goes missing from a campground because the campground allowed fireworks.
Right.
So now we've got a dog, missing from a strange location, out there somewhere.
Yeah. And I know we've talked about that before, and of course we're running out of time already. So why don't you let everybody know about your webpage with all the blogs, because you've got the information about if a pet's lost at a rest stop or at a campground, or the being prepared for the 4th of July. You have really good information on your web page, or if you could tell people where they can look to see more about that.
Yeah, so it's lostdogsofamerica.org, and there's a little search box up at the top, and or there's categories as well. So you can usually just put in a word that you're interested in. Maybe it's camping or campgrounds, and any articles that were written about that should pop up. So yeah, first, we try to do some preparedness stuff before the 4th of July, and then the day after we change gears and we totally go into recovery mode and trying to help people get their dogs home.
Yeah, that's right. We can't stress it enough about the ID tags. And if your pet's got a chip, make sure it's updated. Make sure you have that information. You have time right now to get it scanned. Right. And Marilyn said, just go to the PetSmart or whatever it is, and get it scanned there. Just walk in and have it scanned and do it there, or do it at your vet. You may have to call and see how it works now with everything going on, but and get that information ready and have be prepared.
Right. Yep. Maybe they will come out this time. Maybe they'll come out and scan your pet right in the car, which would be great.
Yeah.
And you don't even have to deal with them carrying your dog or your cat in. Right?
Yeah, I think that's what they're doing for the lost pets here. If we don't have a volunteer available and they go, they're coming out and scanning them. I don't think they're having to get out of the car. Hopefully not. But yeah. All right, Marilyn. Yeah, right. Kathy, is there anything else you'd like to add? We've just got a couple minutes left.
No, I just think that that, like what you said, tags and microchip. I don't think we can say it too often.
No.
Updated microchip and get those tags on your collar.
Yeah.
And just can never be too careful. Don't be embarrassed. Don't feel like you're foolish. Because you're taking all these precautions, because you're not being foolish. You're just being smart.
Yeah. And it is smart because, the last thing you want is for your dog to disappear over a holiday weekend, and being that it's Saturday, you got to wait days to get the dog back too. If it gets in the shelter, if you even know it's in the shelter, so that's another good reason to be prepared. So your dog isn't in the county lockup for, a few days.
A few days. Yeah. Yep. Yeah. And that costs money. A lot of people don't realize, it can cost a fair amount of money to get a pet out after a few days.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, thank you, Kathy, for being with me again. Our talks always go so fast, but I appreciate it.
Yeah. Well, you have a good rest of your month, and I'll talk to you again soon.
All right, thank you. All right, remember everybody that a lost pet can't tell anyone where it lives, so please be sure your pet is microchipped and wearing its ID tags. And if it is chipped, be sure that chip is registered and up to date. Thanks for joining us today, and until next time, take care and keep your pets safe.